Hello! Welcome back to my YouTube channel for the linear series Purples Part 2. As mentioned previously, I have a lot of purple linear holos, so I had to split these in two videos. So these are going to be the darker end of the spectrum of purple because I always go from light to dark. So all the lighter polishes have been covered in my first video. So these are going to be more dark sort of purples. So let's go along for the ride and chase that holo rainbow.
Spending time reminiscing of what it used to be, not letting
So starting off, we have KB Shimmer, Coast Through Life. Don't sleep on KB Shimmer as well. If none of you guys have heard of KB Shimmer, check them out. When I first started getting like more into buying nail polish, they're probably one of the first brands that I definitely went like ham on, and then I just bought like everything. But I'm not ashamed of myself for doing that. They have a lot of fantastic things, from cremes to multi-chromes to linear holos, and they're always releasing some really fantastic collections, so you should definitely check out KB Shimmer. So for this one, I definitely think it's more of like a, is it more of a cool toned purple? It could be. It's like a medium deep purple, if you will. It's like a purple pink. So it's pretty similar to the ones we left off with at the end of our part 1 video. It's just a really beautiful, gorgeous shade, and it's a really, really nice formula. Also, my last plug for KB Shimmer. If you're not somebody who can always afford to buy from the little bit more expensive brands like Holo Taco or Enchanted or Mooncat, you know, a great alternative is KB Shimmer. They do start at kind of like the beginning of the range that I'd say for like polishes once you get out of the drugstore, which is like towards the $10 range. So they're a little bit less expensive if you're not always somebody who can afford the $15, $16 bottles. I got you. I know. I couldn't when I first started either. So anyway, like I said, check them out. Next up, we have Cupcake Polish Plum Perfect, and oh man, I love this color. I feel like this was part of a fall collection. I might have gotten the whole collection. I don't know. I should keep track of that, but I don't. This is kind of like a deep, deep plum, getting close to like, well, no, it's not close enough to be blackened, but it is a very deep shade of purple, and I love that. And I think this is kind of like what people think of outside of like the rainbow purple. This might be like akin to like what they would want purple to be. For me, the darker the better. So this is up my alley in terms of shades of purple, and I just love it. It's such a beautiful dark purple. Next up, we have Superchic Lacquer, which will be making several appearances in this part 2 video, starting off with 40 Winks, which is just, oh my god. This is still a really dark purple, but it's definitely a different shade, whereas I feel like the Plum Perfect one before leaned more towards like a almost like a black base. This one is more almost more neon-y, like a more traditionally purple, you know what I mean? Like if somebody told you this was part of a rainbow collection, I wouldn't doubt it. It looks very, very close to like a sort of brighter neon shade of purple. I just think it's so beautiful, and Superchic Lacquer has such a fantastic formula. I've been a stan for a while now. They're another one of those brands that when I first got back into like buying nail polish, I definitely went ham on them. And again, no shame, they're amazing. Next up, we have Lights Lacquer Amethyst. And this is a very nice, a very beautiful traditional purple. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm always running out of descriptive ways to describe colors. Like, what do you say about a polish that you love? It's really beautiful, it's deep, you know what I mean? Like, I just run out of things to say. But no, this is gorgeous and it kind of just speaks for itself. So moving right along to Enchanted Polish Storytelling. I cannot remember if this is part of their Dark Rainbow collection. I know I bought the whole Dark Rainbow collection because it was the first time I saw it. It came out a few years ago and I was like, well, that's a fun idea. So I don't remember if this is part of it, but I think so. But I just love this shade of purple. Like I said, the darker the purple, the better. And it is gorgeous. The formula is so smooth and it is so opaque. I think if you really wanted to, you could just do one coat and be totally fine. But I'm a 2-coat girl, even if it's like fully opaque. I'm like, I just want a second coat. But yeah, I love this polish so much. And now we have Cuticula polish. We've got long sleeves and falling leaves. What a beautiful name. This one is such a beautiful color. Again, it is a very deep, plummy sort of purple. And the formula is so smooth again. Like the brushes, I love Cuticula's brushes. They're on the wider side as well, but I also think their brushes are, like the brush length is long, which I like, which I like. I think it's nice. I was trying to say, which I like, but then I was thinking in my mind, which is nice. But yeah, I love this. I also love Cuticula. So like, again, half this video is just me plugging the brands, but it's just because I want to, I love to support nail polish brands, brands of color, brands owned by women. So I'm always gonna, try to sell up the brands. They're so amazing. Next, we have Holo Taco Purple Slushie. So this was part of their OG Holo Rainbow collection that they launched. Gosh, was that 2 years ago? Holo Taco's been in business for 3 years. It might have been. Well, it definitely wasn't recently because they just launched their Dark Rainbow collection a couple weeks. Or at least it'll be more than a couple weeks by the time I release this. But you know what I mean. Anyway, so I love this. The Holo Taco OG Rainbow collection is gorgeous anyway. But purple, again, is one of my favorite colors. So this was probably my favorite color from the OG Rainbow collection from Holo Taco. And it's just a super gorgeous, straight up, you know, purple. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, so we've got INLP next, Walking Home. So this one, I feel like at first glance, because the INLP formula does tend to be a little bit more on the sheerer side. At first glance, it doesn't seem like it's dark enough, and you're probably thinking, what is this doing with the rest of the dark ones? It gets darker, people, just wait. Once I put on a second coat, it does get darker. Okay, I tried to put them in order of light to dark. I wouldn't just have a random light one in here. But no, it does get darker. Although this might be a smidge out of place in terms of color. But it's fine. I filmed it already and I'm not moving it. So it's going to stay there. It almost kind of reminds me of glitter. And there could be some glitters in here. Because it's so sparkly. But it doesn't go on like glitter. That's why I'm like, well, it doesn't seem, there could be micro glitters in there. You never know. But in my mind, it looks just like just looks like a linear holo with maybe some micro glitters. The jury's out on that one. Next we have Mooncat Anti-Fragile. I just love this color as well. I know this was part of a collection, but offhand I cannot remember the name, but it was like a series, maybe like a trio, or well, maybe it wasn't a trio. I think it's like 5 or 6 different linear holos, and I think I have all of them, I just bought them at different times, but it's kind of like a medium deep linear holo. It's just really straight up and just really beautiful. The formula from Mooncat is just as exceptional when they were Live Love Polish, so their formula hasn't changed. Really what changed is like the bottle when they rebranded, which I'm for because I love the bottles now. Next up, we have Enchanted Polish Rainbowland. So I know that storytelling must be on their Dark Rainbow collection because this is definitely from their normal rainbow collection that they had. So it's just a very straight up purple. It does get darker when I put on a second coat, so just wait. But I really love the formula from Enchanted. I love their brushes as well. Just so sad that they went out of business a couple years. So unfortunately you won't be able to buy from them unless you buy from somebody who detaches, which is a thing, but you won't be able to buy them from me. But no, if you have any Enchanted polishes, let me know in the comments because they're definitely one of my favorite brands. So next we have Colors de Carol Supreme. I just love that name. I just love this color too. I probably started buying from Colors de Carol a couple of years ago, and they are definitely one of my favorite brands. Like I have a lot of linear holos from them, which tend to be kind of like my favorites as per usual, but they have a lot of other great types of polishes too, so check them out. But it's a very beautiful, deep, dark purple, and the formula is just smooth. It's like butter, and I love that. So we've got another entry from Colors to Carol. Uh-oh, back to back. But the fun thing is that these are super different in terms of the color. The other one was definitely more of a traditional purple, whereas this one I think is a lot similar to like Kings and Queens, a couple others that we've looked at that are just very much like purple pinks kind of at first glance when you start to layer them. But this one does, in my mind, lean a lot more purple when I put on that second coat, but it is still different shade of purple. I feel like this is more akin to like a warm toned purple, which I love. It really complements my skin really nicely, but I just think it's so gorgeous and I love both. So of the two, I don't have a favorite. Well, that's probably not true. This one's probably my favorite of the two. Next up, we have Pampered Polish Crown. I dig this color so hard because it's very much like it's almost like a light blackberry, or maybe like what I envision the color would look like if you mixed blackberries and raspberries together. I feel like you might get this color if you did those two. So it is a little bit on the sheerer side when you apply it, which a lot of polishes are. It's not a bad thing, it's just an observation, but it definitely gets darker and more opaque with that second coat. It gets a lot darker when you put that second coat up there. And then you really get to see the hollows pop through. There might even be some glitters in there. I don't know, I can't tell. But I definitely think that it might be more of like a sheer or sort of like a jelly base as well. But I like that. I like the way Holo looks in that type of formula. And I think it just looks so stunning and so gorgeous and so dark too. Like once you put on the second coat, it gets so dark. It's so beautiful. we've got a few more super chic lacquers for you as we bring up the end of this part 2. The first one is Wake Me Up, which I dig this color so hard. It is like it's like a plum pink with like a plum with like pink undertones, which is quickly becoming like one of my favorite offsets of purple, like outside of the traditional purple. So I'd say like if I had to put them in order, like traditional purple's my like probably my least favorite, and then like deep black plummy purples are like my second favorite, and maybe this one might be my favorite like of the moment. But I love all those purples. When I say least favorite, I just mean what would I wear first. But this one is giving me life because it's kind of like it's both pink and purple, and I do like that combination a lot. But it's just really beautiful. Another entry from Superchic Lacquer, Zombie Crush. So the last few colors that I have are going to be what I like to call the black purples, the ones that are like so purple you think they almost might be black until you like turn your finger a certain way, then you're like, oh, that's purple. But then like dead on, you might be like, well, that's black. So this is like a blackened purple, Zombie Crush, which is such a fun name. But yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of black in there. And then, you know, you only really notice that it's purple sometimes when it's shifted a different way. I love a good blackened purple. So I think this polish is so beautiful. And it's really fun now because we're about to go into Halloween. So we have Holo Taco Rainbow Flood. This was probably my favorite from the remix collection, which I think the remix collection was the celebration of the 2nd anniversary of Holo Taco, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, there were 5 polishes that were like a combination of all the different types. And this was a combination of all the linear holos that Holo Taco had at the time. As we know, usually when you mix a bunch of stuff together, you usually get purple. But no, I dig this color so much because of how much I like blackened purples, and it's just a super gorgeous shade and just a really fun shade as well. That collection is fun. Does anybody else have the Holo Taco remix collection? I got the box too. Last up, but certainly not least, we have another entry from Superchic Lacquer, because I love this purples with Superchic Lacquer, and that is Elvira, which was definitely part of their, I don't know if the collection was called Elvira or if it was based on the Addams family. Well, it's based on the Addams family, but I just don't know if it was like just an Elvira collection, but I'm pretty sure I bought the whole collection because the collection slapped, like it was great. And this one again is very similar to the last few that we looked at because it's just like a blackened purple, but I feel like this is the darkest ones out of all of the blackened purples that we looked at. This one, like dead on, can definitely trip you up depending on which way my finger is kind of tilted. It can definitely look straight up black, but when I tilt it directly to the camera, then you really see that purple in there, which I think is just great. But yeah, this one is definitely probably my favorite of the last few that we looked at because I love I love black and then I love purple, so like a blackened purple, right up my alley. So that is going to do it for all of my purple linear holos. So if you guys have any favorites, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content like that from me. You can also check out my Instagram for full swatches. So I am going to be taking a little bit of a prolonged break from the linear series. I'm not abandoning it entirely, but it does take a lot of time to film and edit these, and even splitting purple into 2 parts, I still had so many polishes that both of these videos are a lot longer than I would have liked for them to be. So I do want to move on to some other types of content. I'm also just a really variable person, so I like to do a lot of different things anyway. So I will circle back to it, just not right now. So something that I'm thinking about, which by thinking about I mean I'm going to do, is that I really want to do some more Holo Taco videos. It's one of my favorite brands, and maybe some other brand specific videos. So keep an eye out for that type of content, and thanks so much for watching. Catch you later. Bye.